Yo, there are two major camps, both of which are problematic. One consists of men complaining that women practice hypergamy, which involves shunning males of their own class and or status to mate with so-called alpha males, or discarding their current mate in order to mate with men of higher class, status, or ability, usually the quote-unquote alpha male. Men cry that humans are reduced to wolf or other animal packs, where there is supposedly a head alpha male and second in command beta male, a third level gamma, a fourth tier delta male, a fifth epsilon, and on down to omega. Others are basically in that same camp since they agree that a defined hierarchy has chief prominence in both humans and animals. Some think that women should be unfaithful and instead monkey branch toward what they see as increasingly higher status. Then there's the camp which was explained by Adam Conover thusly. In humans, the idea of an alpha male makes absolutely no sense. Neither do alpha wolves exist. In fact, the term alpha wolf was disavowed by the scientist who popularized it. After doing more research, he then concluded that wolves lack any hierarchy, they are just parents. In chimps, the most aggressive male does not always become the leader. Smaller, more mild-mannered males can actually become dominant by doing favors in obsessively grooming other chimps. And unlike chimps, human social hierarchies are constantly in flux. He then acted out an example of a big, aggressive, tough-acting male being of the lowest status in a Dungeons & Dragons board game club because he is unfamiliar with the rules. Adam went on to say that since human society is so complicated and that there are varying circumstances, to say that this guy is an alpha male while this guy is beta and so on makes zero sense. Adam again acted out that roguish strawman character who blurted, "The most aggressive males get the most aggressive tail." He corrected that with, "No, research shows that agreeableness, kindness, and generosity are among the strongest indicators of a long, happy relationship." Now, here is where both camps go wrong. They both present an either-or fallacy. The either-or fallacy occurs when someone acts as if there are only two possible options when there are more than two. Now, mate selection is based on a combination of male dominance and their compatibility with others of their group. This is nature. It certainly has the survival of the fittest component, but usually one's ability and or willingness to cooperate with other members of his circle for the benefit of that society is more important than his individual dominance. Male animals clearly battle for mates. Say a normal four-legged male fights a defective male with only 3 legs, defeats him, and thus wins the right to mate. That is beneficial since the one with the defective gene does not continue to pass that on. Say that powerful salmon overcome an upstream river current so they can mate. The weaker ones cannot overcome the current and so fail to mate. That is beneficial since the stronger gene gets inherited and so strengthens the fish population. On the other hand, completely dominant animals would harm their species. Nurturing and cooperative aspects must also endure. Humans are much more complex than other animals, and so besides physical dominance and cooperative characteristics, intelligence is also a vital quality that must be considered. But it is wrong to be misleading by saying that humans are in flux or that there are many characteristics to be considered. Women only care about 4 qualities in men: physical prowess and health, the type of intelligence that allows men to make good money, cooperation/agreeableness, and social charisma. Sometimes there is a 5th, looks, but that is only a factor for men who look like male models or movie stars. And women never care about a man's ability to engage in fantasy cosplay or play board games, video games, and so on. Neither do they care whether men have advanced reading or writing skills, though they should. If I was a young woman looking for a man to mate and reproduce with, I would naturally reject 3-foot-tall midgets, those with Down syndrome and other things, since I would not want my children to inherit that stuff. I would want a man who was making good money, since having money is how people thrive. I wouldn't demand riches, just respectable earnings. I would want a man of the same race as I to respect my culture and heritage. and I would want a cooperative and agreeable man of faith, naturally. But most women are wrong and stupid by valuing social charisma the most. In fact, valuing social charisma at all, that is, the ability to get most people to like you, is wrong. Quoting Christian scripture, James 4:4, "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God." The biggest problem is not that too many women are competing for alpha males, except for their ignoring of regular-looking men and focusing on those who look like movie stars. That's a problem. But just competing for alpha males is not the problem. The primary problem is that most women are competing for men they falsely view as alpha males because of the propaganda that the evil people who control and influence our society shoves down our throats. So women choose abusive, unstable, jobless, faithless, addicted, or mentally or physically unsound men who have social charisma over better choices. Apparently, most women have childlike minds and thus cannot be entrusted with such decisions as mate selection. Some men have been stupid too by having children with drug-addicted or diseased women. So we have had crack babies, those born damaged or addicted to drugs, and those born with AIDS. Instead, such women should be sterilized. Hurts people's feelings? Boo-hoo! If societies do not end their political correctness and go back and re-embrace natural law, they will be more than hurt. They will be destroyed.